Hi everybody and welcome to In Good Company. I'm Nicolai Tangen and the CEO of the Norwegian Wealth Fund. And today we have an incredible guest, Robin Zeng, the founder and CEO of CATL, the world's largest battery producer. Now, it's not only the world's largest, it's got a whopping 40% of this mega market. Wow. So, Robin, how did this come about? How is it possible to end up with 40% of such a big market?
No, not yet 40%, okay? To be correct, it's 37.5%, something like that, less than 40. But I think the most important is right products. Definitely the market need a lot of the right products to do the e-mobility. So right product, you need the right technology. So in our world, it's more like a right chemical, right material, which already have a good products. So this good product is a finish to the purpose of the consumer. That's why consumer really love it. That's why the customers, OEMs, would like to make these products and put this product into their car. That's why we can power the millions of cars.
So despite your incredible market position, there may be some listeners who don't know what your products are. So just very briefly, what type of products do you have?
We have two major products. One is the battery. We call it battery for the e-mobility. So you can have the product in Tesla's car, Model 3, Model Y. So in all the Chinese car makers, also in many of the OEM's cars. So this battery we call to power the whole car. So it's a BEV, B-E-V. Another product is we make a battery for the energy storage. You know, all the renewable energy like a wind turbine and the solar cell. That's why you need a storage battery who can regulate the unstable renewable energy supplies, which make this energy supply become very stable, very predictable, and very fitness to the industry use and other use.
What's been the main steps from going from kind of zero to 37.5% world market share? How long has it taken you?
Yeah, we take almost 12 years from zero to this 37.5%. The major is not because of this only this 12 years, because our team have been working on this industry for now it's a quarter century. 25 years ago, we started business with this lithium-ion battery, which definitely is for the mobile phone, for the notebook, for all the consumer electronic applications. So we have the similar technology from 25 years ago.
Who do you consider your competitors?
Today, I think the competitor is ourselves because we still have a lot of to do, especially on the electrical chemical side. You know, the material today, we're still in cathode material like lithium iron phosphate and NCM, anode material still on the graphite or some silicon. Most important is the new chemistries we have to invent. So only invent the new chemistries that can also fit more usage, more requirement from consumer. For example, low temperature performance.
You say that your competitor is yourself. Are you not worried about any other competitors?
I don't consider them as competitors. Actually, we love to have more people join in this journey, which really can have the inventions. It's not a copycat. It's the inventions which can help to make the consumer, make the customer happy with their real good performance of the products and technologies. Because only the competitions in invention, competitions in the creativity, which can help this industry very healthy to grow in the future.
And how important is state support in getting to that type of position?
But in China, it's more complicated because Chinese try to make a lot of products which fit to the consumer usage. So Chinese OEM are more like we call it hearing more the requests from the consumer. Then they make a good design faster than anyone else in the world. That's why they can roll out a lot of good products. So in order to support the Chinese OEM on this aspect, CATL have been, being well trained to how to quicker, faster grasp the needs and how to faster to ramp up the production to support the cost performance effectively and the quality, high quality products to our customer. That's the whole story make a difference, you know.
It's complicated. That's why it's good that you have a PhD. But how many people have you got in research and development?
We have more than 20,000 people, engineer, very good talents in my area because they need a focus on many aspects.
But I mean, 20,000 is nearly as many people as live in my hometown. So
okay.
What do they do?
This 20,000 people is, some people is focused on basic material structures. Some people is focused on side reactions. Some people is focused on the interrelation of the materials. Some people is focused on the future chemistry. For example, we call it AI for science. I need to use artificial intelligence to try to find out the next revolutionary material and chemical system beyond the lithium ions. We need to have some research guy on the battery management systems and softwares. Altogether, like 21,000 engineers. They have several hundred PhDs, many masters. So those young kids have been working here for average more than 3 or 5 years. They have become very good talent, and I hope they can have more innovations in the future to help the human climate changing, focus on these renewable energies.
The talent pool you have is incredible, right? I saw that 2 out of 3 widely cited papers on battery technology came out of China, only 12% coming out of the US. Also, you in China have more than 50 graduate programs in batteries compared to only a few in the US. So how can the rest of the world possibly compete with you?
Almost 12 years ago, when Angela Merkel visited China, we have some discussions among that. At that time, German people already thinking about why they cannot make a good batteries, because they make a very good engines, they make a very good gearbox. So, German people think they can make a very good batteries. That's why when we have some discussions on that, I told them, fortunately, unfortunately, China have a lot of universities still working on electrical chemical. So usually electrical chemistry is a very low end people looking at, because if you graduate from electrical chemistry, you cannot find a good job, You can only find people for the lead acid batteries. You only find a job for the anti-corrosions. So all this kind of low paid job. That's why they are being very old theory, but I know United States, a lot of good universities and the students, they don't want to focus on this. They want to focus on finance, focus on semiconductors. They need to get a higher pay from this. But China, there's a lot of students who have to go into university. That's why they find more study on the electrical chemistries. That's why we have a lot of talents compared to US, compared to Germany. So if US, Germany want to catch up or want to overtake in the battery side, probably they have to start from the education.
Have you got a view on the amount of talent we have in Norway?
I think all 20,000 people in your hometown is all talents. So we need to find out what kind of talents to fit what kind of use. It may not be electrical chemistry.
What's the most difficult thing? Is it to invent a battery, or is it the scaling of battery production? Is it more difficult to make one or to make 1,000?
So most difficult things is the understanding of electrical chemical system in the real world. And other things is like, as I mentioned, you have to last 20, 25 years. So that's why how you predict that. And accurately acceleration test to indicate it's already can reach that kind of level is another difficulty in reliabilities. So, and the scale up productions and, low cost. Everyone looking for a very low cost battery because they always compare the battery with the gasoline engine, internal combustion engine, which have developed more than 100 years, optimize. That's why they push too much burden on the batteries.
It just seems like in Europe there is such a problem scaling up production. Is there one common thing that's particularly difficult here?
I talked to many people, European battery maker CEOs, why they cannot make a good products. It's because they have a wrong design. And secondly, they have a wrong process. Thirdly, they have a wrong equipment. How can they scale up? If they want to scale up a lot, they would have a yield problem, utilization problem, and later on they would have reliability problem. And 2 years, 3 years later, there would be a safety problem. So almost all mistake together. So I don't know how.
That doesn't sound so good. But if we start with the first one, when you say they got the wrong design, what do you mean?
Yes, start from the wrong design. It means if they don't understand the electrical chemistry or the side reaction, as I mentioned, the design will be wrong. They never cover the risk of the future risk. That's why the performance testing in one day it looks good. Then you want to scale up. They want to put the process. The process never cover what you need in the future.
What are the implications for European battery production then, given what you're saying? Where do you think Europe is going to be in 10 years' time?
For the battery application side, we just tell about at least e-mobility and boat also, and e-auto also, even the bullet train and the car is definitely. Since Norway is definitely a very advanced nations for this renewable energy, maybe we can work together to make a planning, to make Norway, the whole Norway become a zero carbon, society. So I have a confidence how to mapping up electricity. Zero carbon is important. You have almost 90% hydro power, right? Then you add up another 10% maybe from the wind turbine, from the sea, and another size is e-mobilities. Your passenger car penetration, already 90-95% for the new cars. Then we can help you to make these trucks to be zero carbon by our swapping battery system. And also we can make the port electrifications, and also can help also even the vessel with we call the range extender. So we can planning together to make a whole Norway as a number one in the world to be the zero carbon technology, renewable energy nations in the world. I think it take around 10 years in 2025. Work together, we will make it. And also you will be very happy to have a lot of income from all this kind of different, different things.
Well, sounds very interesting. Unfortunately, it's above my pay grade. It's not my decision. I only invest money, and of course, we are happy that we have invested a lot of money with you. Now, you've been doing batteries for a long time. Do you feel that innovation is accelerating or decelerating?
I don't see too much. It's accelerating. When the industry is small, when we start from the mobile phone, the technology growing like a line, not accelerations. But when they put more money, more people inside now, everyone looking for the innovations. So innovation speed is accelerate. And we believe will be another new industry, a new chemistry come out. That's why when we put our product, when we invest our production line, we have to put the production line, have to depreciate faster. The depreciation have to be 5 years. Otherwise, we want it. So new things come out.
So a lot of companies push kind of solid state batteries as a game changer. What are the showstoppers here?
Well, I've been taught this for many times with different people. The basic showstopper is still there. Still is the interface, solid and solid interface. Whenever cathode material with the electrolyte. So solid electrolyte, solid powder. So anode material or solid powder, solid interface, definitely the problem of the diffusions. The speed of the diffusions is almost 2 orders less than a liquid electrolyte. That's why people have to put the pressure to put the 2 solid powder together, very heavy pressures, then make it work. But in a real application days, how can you get the heavy pressures? So that's why it is a fundamental science and technology issues, but we have to overcome by different things, different new invention of the materials, a new invention of the process. So it takes time. So in terms of technology readiness level, I put it at level 4.
You're also in sodium ion and condensed matter batteries. How do you view these technologies?
The sodium ion is quite mature now. We already have the production, small production to some of the car makers. The only problem is quite a little bit lower energy density compared with iron phosphate today. That's why when iron phosphate is cheaper, people tend to select the iron phosphate rather than sodium ion. But we have developing the second generation of sodium ion, which can be very good compared with the first generation. So we believe it will be a 20 to 30% of replacement of lithium iron phosphate in a smaller car on a shorter range of the cars at the initial stage. As of the condensed matter battery, I'm proud of that because it is very good in eVTOL application. It's very expensive today, and we are working hard on that. Try to make it, maybe 2 times compared to today, or 1.5 times. So we can use this battery to the very high-end car, which need energy density for the speed and the higher range.
When you look at your process and so on, what's the key to your successful supply chain? I mean, you for instance, own your own lithium mine, right? What are your advantages when you look at your supply chain?
Usually, people have to look at the supply chain by the applications. For example, several years ago, people say, wow, nickel, cobalt is very important because the battery will go into big applications. That's why you need to have invest in nickel, especially in the cobalt mining. But they don't understand is we can have making the structure change innovations to reduce the cobalt applications. So cobalt from 33% reduced to 3%. And also even now we can remove the cobalt, then we use the iron phosphate, then the cobalt becomes zero. Nickel becomes zero. So only the technology people who understand the trend of the development applications in the future, who to know, who to choose what kind of mining is a good mining investment. That probably is our advantage. So we have to very carefully understand the advantage of the different material, and especially with the chemistry system, who will be the winner, then we can judge.
And how do you benefit from this when you set up factories in Europe?
I have 2 factories in Europe. One is in Germany, now one is in Hungary. Now the supply chain, we established the supply chain gradually. Now still majority from China. That's why, for example, in Norway, we can work together because you have a very low cost of the hydropowers. So we can make graphite together. So graphite is one of the most important is the energy consumption.
Changing tack a bit, energy storage. How do you see that market developing?
Energy storage, in my mind, is similar or maybe half size of transportation. But energy storage is more difficult than transportation, because they need lasting 20, 25 years. But many people think this is easier, because they say this is a stationary, pull don't move. Yes or no? Number 2 is the energy storage usually is a huge pack. For example, 1 gigawatt battery pack, the whole system, it contains at least 1.5 million cells. If you think about it, 1.5 million cells plus all the electronics, mechanicals, thermal management put into the system and plus in this software, the whole 1 gigawatt-hour batteries energy storage system contains maybe 7 to maybe 9 million of the components, similar as the Boeing 787. So when you control your quality in 1 out of ppm, that means every day you have the product, you have the components a problem. You have to maintain that, you have to repair that. You have a lot of maintenance costs in the future, and also degradation is different. Consistency is very, very difficult to control. That's why for CATL, we want to put the battery manufacturing quality up to PPB level, 1 defect parts per billion. So 3 orders increase the quality level to fit for the usage of this energy storage. So it's difficult. Yeah, if everyone tell you it's good, 10 years later they have to pay. Maybe 5 years later they have to pay a lot of money.
How much time do you spend on the corporate culture at CATL? What do you think defines the culture compared to other companies?
Our culture is, we have a vision. We try to be a very innovative technology company in the world, especially focus on renewable energy and try to do the excellent contribution to the human society in renewable energies. On the other hand, we try to create a platform which help the individuals to fight, to grow their spirit and material well-being. Actually, it's money. So we need to give them the more stock options and also help them to really fighting for the growth, especially innovations and also the confidence by themselves, become a better man. The focus on the renewable energy. So people believe very meaningful in this journey, especially working in Seattle. Now it's 15 million cars. 15 million cars in the world powered by Seattle batteries. So think about that. You already help to reduce a lot of carbon. On the other hand, we are keep on doing these innovations to help the climate change and also sustainability for the humans' development. We try to gain the same vision, and also we are using also Chinese culture. We call the refine. So everyone have to refine themselves and enable others, then strive in innovation. So we always successfully introduce Chinese traditional thinking of refine, enable, and strive innovation.
And Robin, how about you still trying to refine the way you work?
For me, there's two ways. One is my philosophy. I don't want to be the rich guy in the richest guy or whatever. It doesn't mean it. So I want to share this rich or wealthy to many people, to try to create the good society, especially for the sustainability. This is number one refine from my view of my wealthy. Second is I need to refine myself to be more stronger body, Otherwise, it's always tired, you cannot fight. The passion is very important, otherwise cannot lasting for longer. The third thing is I'm now trying very hard to find the successors. So this is three things is in my mind now is my more top priorities.
So Robin, I believe you and we share one thing in common. We both sleep a bit in the middle of the day. We take a little nap in the office.
Yes, this is a noon time. Usually we sleep maybe 30 minutes in office, yes.
When during the day do you sleep?
1 p.m., something like that. Start sleeping, maybe 30 minutes. It's good enough to recover.
And what does that do to you?
You become more, energetic. Maybe the body is physically needed.
How long do you work in the evening?
I work until 12 o'clock, around that, 12:30. Because usually the whole day is working, sleeping. It's not really email. You have to, listen the information message from overseas. Especially you're running international companies, you have information across the 24 hours across the cloud, but you have to pick up the right things, and also I'm happy to do that. Basically, not much problem, but I need to do exercise. My daughter told me more.
You grew up in rural China, right? In Ningde.
Yes.
What do you think that has done to you as a person to come from a rural place, move in, being very successful? How has it helped you in your business?
We have the very difficult economics, and my hometown is very poor. So for me, it's in day one. I think we have confidence because we believe we can overcome all the difficulties once we have a chance. Number two is we have a very strong mind. We are not easy to be beat anywhere because we have experience. Number three is we are not too much looking at the wealthies. because we have experience so poor, and we have no problem on that. So we say that if people almost told me, say, Robin, why don't you enjoy your life? You can buy a yard. For me, there is not much joy. We have to overcome the difficulties to do something great to support the people, poor people, and also support this renewable energy in the world. You will be very happy. So usually I like to invest the manufacturing plant in a related poor area.
What kind of projects do you support?
For my donations, usually go to these very, very poor children. We donate some money for them they can have some people to care, just talk, touch, or, play together. So I joined some international program for the children. I believe if we can, CATL can invest the manufacturing plant in some poor area, so their family no need to move out, to come out to the big city to work, to leave the children in the hometown. So that's why we invest the manufacturing place in Guizhou, in Henan, all these areas to help them. So such kind of things is for me is much happy and made me more stronger in the rural area.
When you meet young Chinese people, what advice do you give them?
My advice is be patient, strive, because you have your chance.
If you were to give advice to young people in Europe and the US, what would you tell them?
I think it's similar. Usually today's young kids, they want to become rich very fast, right? So be patient, but strive. Everyone have a chance, I believe.
Robin, it's been tremendous talking to you. It's incredible what you have achieved. And I have to say, I am pretty happy I'm not your competitor. Thanks a million.